Hi everyone, we are live in the studio and hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day.
You are now listening to Read It and Read.
I'm Fionna.
I'm Halimatun, and it's time to talk about books, and books.
That's right, we have received a lot of positive feedback about last week's book and we are really excited for this week's book.
Definitely. So, we will be discussing about a book written by John V.Maclean. If you teach it, they will read it, a literature's life lesson for today's students. So, what is this book all about, Fionna?
Yes, it's about a teacher's reflection on teaching various literary texts to high school students. I find it very interesting when the author explains life philosophies through fiction's life journey and he relates it with real-life experiences. The main issue is how to get students to see real values in literary texts without making them drift away from real-life responsibilities. Just like the author says, to turn away from literature is to turn away from education's greatest lessons, the appreciations of our shared humanity, the unflinching apprehensions of human condition.
To help potential readers out there, like always, we will look into the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat of this book. I found that the strength of this book is in the way it was structured and arranged. I realized that it was arranged according to a timeline of high school student journey in getting into college life and how they survived it. Each chapter is given theme that reflect the journey. Fionna, give me time to list a few, alright?
You may start now.
This book has 16 chapters, which starts with the search for identity, rite of passage, the quest, and etc. This will benefit students as a means of guideline for early preparation to enter adult world. For example, in chapter 9, dealing with loss triggers the question what kind of world a man is living for his child and what sort of judgment people would make of him. With a reference from Hemingway's Man Without Woman and Shakespeare's The Tempest, this book talks about the life in how every decision made involves the loss, which as the students grow up, they will have to make decisions and some decisions need them to make sacrifice on something and it takes a lot of courage to do so.
Right, go on.
Throughout this book, the author, who is also a teacher, often triggers discussion by asking questions that compare the literature characters to real-life figures.
Yeah, that is true. However, nothing is perfect and so does this book. I found that the choices of literary texts are way too heavy and too much for me. I don't think Malaysian students are ready for something so complex. Some Malaysian readers might not be able to relate to the fiction characters due to the comparison to American culture, politics, and history. For example, in Chapter 4, I Want a Hero includes references from the Canterbury Tales, Beowulf, Hamlet, and other modern references.
Yes, and we have not reviewed few of the literature texts mentioned in the book yet.
Absolutely, Halimatun. For one to truly understand all of these aspects, they need to be well versed in Western knowledge and a bit of all the texts mentioned, or else they need to make a rough guess of the meaning.
I found it very confusing too, as I was expecting the author would provide a clear content, but the narration killed my mood a bit. However, we should not ever downgrade this book because every book may benefit to some people differently.
Oh yes, but before we continue to talk more about the book, let's have a short break.
And we're back. Thank you for staying with us. For today's book review, like Fionna had mentioned before, the author includes various literature texts. I have not read some of the texts and they are already in my book list. So, for some school teachers who are looking for a list of books to give your students to read, these wonderful books give you chances to have a preview what the texts are about and the life philosophies it contains to benefit your students.
I honestly think with the right text given to the students, they will be able to grasp the moral value portrayed in the text.
Definitely. In chapter 10, The Need to Dream talks about how having dreams put us in place we would have never thought to be in the first place, and students need to be aware of that. Having dreams, life goals, and putting efforts to achieve it will eventually pay off. Isn't that right, Fionna?
I second that. Despite the life philosophies to the amazing suggested literary texts, I would say if you prefer for clear and brief tips and teaching strategies to make teenagers and students to read, this book may not be suitable for you. It is rather difficult to find the important key points if you just skim and scan through the pages.
Even so, out of 10, I will give 7 stars for this book. I would recommend this book to you if you are a high school student who are having cold feet about this whole growing up thing. Also, for those majoring in literature or planning to be a teacher soon, this book is for you. Despite the flaws, this book is actually not that bad.
I totally agree with you, but we do want to know from those who have read this book. Give us your thoughts about the book in our comment section. And that concludes our Read It and Read for today. This has been Fionna
And Halimatun,
We give you the truth, nothing but the truth.
a non-biased book review.
We review, you decide.
Thank you for listening. Have a nice day, everyone!